The Loyalists, who were originally residents of the 13 colonies, now the United States of America, were first resettled in refugee camps. They essentially chose the wrong side of the war. They sided with the Crown, the British Crown, against many of their neighbors who wanted an independent nation.
Their loyalty to the King of England throughout the American Revolution cost them their lands.
And they moved to the SD&G area in June of 1784 in a great movement.
These were people that we knew from the war, because our people fought in the American Revolution.
And the first spots where they deposited themselves was the townships that eventually became the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry.
Most of the Loyalists settled in the front of Charlottenburg and Lancaster Townships. Many of these farms fronted on the Raisin River and its branches running through Charlottenburg and Stormont.
The British government gave the Loyalists hundreds of acres of land.
This was a prime hunting ground, a great place to fish, to spear, to build weirs, to do whatever you needed to do.
The indigenous people that were here had lived here and used the lands for decades and centuries.
So we were very familiar with this whole region because of the Adirondack Mountains, the rivers that descend from the northern part of the Adirondacks all converge with the St. Lawrence.
So when the Loyalists arrived here, treaty arrangements took place in order to get the Mohawks of Akwesasne, to get their assent, to make sure that they were on board with the pretty massive transformation of the landscape here in Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry.
Joseph Brant managed to come and talk to our chiefs and work out a good compromise to allow the settlement of New Johnstown.
The United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry are replete with historical sites, from cemeteries, which I have a particular interest in, but also built structures like the Upper Canada Village.
The first place of worship in St. Raffles was a log building, affectionately known as the Blue Chapel because of the color of its ceiling. This chapel was built about 1787 and was replaced by the Great Stone Church in the wilderness.
The 1784 event is a really great way to understand and appreciate history. There'll be reenactors there in the uniforms of the King's Royal Regiment of New York. You'll have people who are really interested in history. There'll be a heritage village with local historical societies and authors like myself.
There's so much to learn.
It's part of our history.
Step back in time. June the 7th to the 9th, join us in Cornwall, Ontario for the 240th anniversary of the founding of Cornwall and the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. We hope to see you there.